Probably just give her the meat now, Alex. I don't know where he's going. So as I said before, if Stumpy found out that we were giving Marilyn food and not him, he would...
How you doing, Casanova? Casanova here is the largest crocodile that we've worked with. Yeah. 40 tons, he's about 5.2 metres long. Weighs about 800 kilograms.
So has anyone been to the Darwin Museum?
Yeah.
Have you seen the Sweetheart exhibit?
Yeah.
Cass is about 20 centimetres longer than Sweetheart. So he really doesn't look it while he's in the water. But that's just shows you how much you don't see while they're in the water.
Yeah.
So the best description I think I've heard was that they're like an iceberg. You only see about 15% of them while they're in the water.
Yeah, Mum. Head up. Head up, dude. Head up. There you go. No, keep your head up. So for me to have had time to pull that away before he got it there, I basically had to know what he was going to do before he did. Because these guys have a reaction speed about 37 times faster than the average human. Or about 100 times faster than the average Territorian on a Friday night. Come on, dude, up again. That was good. That was good. Give us a couple more. 2 more.
So when they jump, they're only using their tail to propel themselves up. So they're not technically jumping, because that would imply that they're jumping off of something. So they're technically, if you wanted to be more pedantic, they're swimming vertically. So what Cass needs to do is he needs to get his whole body straight under his head and then readjust his organs a little bit, and then he can jump up. So it does take a lot of on his behalf. So, and then you also consider that Cass is lifting between 800 and 900 kilos into the air with just that tail.
That was even better.
What about the teeth of the lizard teeth? Do they keep growing back?
No, no, they don't regrow limbs.
No,
tail-
teeth.
No teeth.
Oh, teeth? Yes. Sorry. I said feet. So yeah, they keep regrowing teeth throughout their life. And we got ripped off a bit, eh? 2 sets of teeth and that's it.
Yeah.
So the larger and older they get, the slower those teeth grow back.
Right.
Hey Alex,
I think
does that look like something broken his leg on the left side?
it's been like that for ages.
Has it?
Yep.
Suppose I'm normally looking from the right.
Yeah.
Stumpy is the oldest crocodile that we work with. We estimate him to be about 80.
How many meters is he?
So Stumpy's about 4.8.
Now you can see even just seeing his head, you can see he's a lot larger than her. She's fully grown. So the males get much bigger. Girls stop growing at about 3 meters long, while the males keep growing until they die. They often reach lengths of over 4.5 meters. Like Jonas said, Stumpy's about 4.8 meters long. So it's been a little while since we got in next to him with the tape measure. Didn't go so well for Terry last time we did that, so we stopped doing that. But the largest reported
Crocodile like Stumpy will actually just rely on that tide purely to get around. So at the moment the tide's heading out. You'll see he's not moving his tail very much or anything. He's letting the water move all the way.
if you notice he wants to go downstream at some point, he'll usually wait until the tide's going out. If he wants to go back upstream, wait till the tide's coming back in. So they're very, very energy efficient.
So that
Talking about the main territorial, they usually won't leave their home territory, and the girls also generally don't stray too far from their usual nesting. So, there's about 40 crocodiles that we work with in the area where we operate. About 10,000 in the whole river.
So if you pay close attention to the bottom jaw, Digger's actually got a little bit of an injury. So you can tell that her bottom jaw doesn't quite line up anymore. So one breeding season, her and Stumpy were in courtship, and Stumpy's forgotten what he was doing and actually tried to kill her. And because of that, her jaw's now healed, but just healed slightly off. So Digger is probably, she's the biggest female that we work with. So she's about 3.2 meters.
So you can see how the top and bottom jaw don't line up properly. It's much easier to see from the left and front side of her face. Lift your head up. So you can see that's all wonky there. Pop this in reverse. Get it to turn around.
He's jumping.
Around.
Yeah, he's eating.
So you can see that scarring there towards the back of her bottom jaw. So he almost completely ripped her bottom jaw off. And she recovered from that completely on her own. Now obviously it's not an excuse for his behaviour, but Stumpy's not completely intact himself. He's missing 2.5 of his legs that he lost in fights with other crocodiles. So they're very aggressive animals. They hate each other's guts. Rather than love the taste of each other's guts, that's the problem. So the best population control for saltwater crocodiles is saltwater crocodiles, because they will quite happily kill and eat each other. If you leave the crocodiles alone, you'll never have too many crocodiles. That looks good. Possums, snakes, or anything else in those low-hanging branches, they might as well jump into a crocodile's mouth instead. They do sometimes manage to catch birds and bats in mid-flight. They definitely prefer their food to stay still. And I don't blame them. I'm sure that you guys don't like your food running around your place either. But they typically do most of their jumping when they're itty-bitty baby crocodiles. They'll jump for things like dragonflies, other insects hovering just above the water. So we definitely encourage them to jump more often than they otherwise would.
Right.
Like I said, we haven't taught them anything new.
What are you feeding it? Just beef or?
No, we used the people who didn't follow instructions.
Copy.
No, it's buffalo meat. A big croc like Stumpy can kill a fully grown buffalo himself, so it's not weird for them to be eating it. And that string that we've got wrapped around it is 100% cotton, which is perfectly safe to go into their mouths and into their stomachs. So this piece is mostly bone, but they've got gastric juices that can dissolve shell and bones, so that's not an issue. Pretty much the only part of their food that they don't properly break down and digest is keratin. So things like hair, nails, hooves and horns.
Right.
So if one of these crocodiles manages to eat me, you'll get a nice big hairball back to remember me by. Tell you what, I still haven't figured out what smells worse, crocodile hairballs or crocodile farts.
Really?
I've only smelt one of each and I still want two then.
No. Hey. Good crocodile.
Oh, is their skin really hard?
On the underside, no. But what you can see along the back here, so they've got little bone plates just under the skin there, all along their back and up here on their neck. Very solid there. But
like
even like around the neck here, and on the underside of them is actually fairly soft. So there are some crocodilian species, many crocodilian species rather, that do have small bone plates and cartilage on the underside as well. And that's actually part of why saltwater crocodile leather is the most sought after and valuable in the world, because they don't have any of that cartilage or bone in their belly, which makes the leather a lot easier to work with.
Right.
Gives a better product. Very good job. How good is that sound?
So how could teeth not like stop that happening?
Because they
pierce through their scalp. If you look at chickens, she's actually got two holes at the very front of their snout, and her teeth actually protrude.
which is very common. That those two little holes in front of the nose. Where have you got?
What she's waiting for is Alex to put that piece of meat straight over her head.
Despite knowing exactly what I want her to do, and knowing that if she does that, she'll get the reward.
So you can see on their nose, they've got like a little disc that holds their nostrils, and then in front of that got two holes. So those two holes are where their teeth are. So they actually have enough force that their teeth actually just pierce through their skull, and then they'll just kill with the holes. So we have another female that actually lives around the corner. Her name's Lola, and she's actually missing an entire piece out of her snout. One of their teeth is just obviously hit a different place to chickens further out. taking the whole piece off.
Sometimes if they get into a fight, their snout gets a hard knock on something, or just the tooth growing out at a weird angle, and take a chunk out of the snout too. So you can see just those two little holes there in front of the nose, and then that slightly raised disc just behind those holes. So they've got a canal too that leads from the nose all the way through that top jaw, straight into the throat.